Hello everyone, this is Jay High from Couch and Keyboard, and here we are again with another Melee Major. Not a huge tournament, but still pretty stacked. Let's get into it. So 1,200 entrants for doubles. We have 50 teams. It's not too bad. You know, okay, I've heard of these players, but this is not nearly what you would expect. We've seen some high level teams earlier, and I mean, it can still be cool. I know Mr. Motion, aka Salami, pretty good player. Freeze has been playing really good. Axe and None, we'll see if they can kind of the old school top player. I think I've heard of these players in Web Life. I'm not sure if they're like static or whatever, but we'll see. It'll at least be something. For schedule, they actually have some stuff on Friday for Melee, so that's why I'm doing this, releasing on Thursday. But yeah, so and so they're gonna have 2 different waves for top 64, which is nice. I think that's cool. They don't do like the which it'd be hard to do over 2 days with the two, like the waves of round. Wait, I can't speak. Round 2 pools of one wave being done during round 1 of the next wave. This is still pretty good though. It allows for some doubles, and like, you know, I feel like that's pretty fine. Maybe some people had their singles pools on this day and they don't want to enter doubles. I'm curious about that. Usually only SmashCon does singles, and maybe Genesis too. But a lot of majors do their singles starting on Saturday. But we'll see how this goes. I think it's fine, because you can still, like, I think people would maybe request to play it on a different day. But let's go ahead and get into it. So this event isn't super stacked. 280 something entrants. What was it, 284? Yeah. We have, I think Michael BTW is I think it's an IC's player. I'm not sure. I've heard of Pleva. Pretty sure that's a Sheik. J-Mook should be fine here. I imagine Pleva as well. YCZ, pretty stylish. Samus, but I don't know. I feel like Josh Man should be fine. Snap is kind of prone to being upset, but I feel like Snap will at least make it to top 64 winners. And so we have Salt and Mayor, whatever you want to say. I've heard of NS Frog. A Falcon, I think. So if this is Falcon Marth, I could see this, being somewhat close. I feel like Salt will be the winner either way next round, but and then we have H-Box. Then we have Mono, which is Moki's roommate, a really good Yoshi, and then we have Blue Pinata, a pretty solid Ice Climbers. I feel like Yoshi does pretty good against Ice Climbers. I'm pretty sure these are both Canada. I don't know if they played. I think Blue Pinata might be Vancouver, while Mono is more Toronto, Ontario area, but we'll see. And then we have the next wave. Fishbait is a Peach. Unruly, I've heard of. I know Mento is pretty solid sheet. Probably won't get past there, but you never know. Wizrobe should be fine. Not a lot of round 1 upsets, I predict. I've heard of Kevon, but Moki should be fine. Iron had a pretty good 2024, if I recall correctly. Looks like Crudo might be DQing here. And then Spark, Okami BW, an old school Sheik. Spark's pretty good at Ditto. Zio, pretty good Falcon. I feel like should be fine there. And then this is the final pool of Friday. We have Sunsei, we have Polo. Cannonball is a Yoshi, been entering a lot. Wagabooga is Doc? I'm not quite sure. I've heard of them, but I don't know very much about Jiffy. A lot of these, I feel like the top 2 seats are going to be fine, and it's not necessarily that stacked. Lowercase Hero should be fine. Daydream, I think it's a puff. I've heard of Pete Bag, but either way, should be pretty reasonable. I don't predict a ton of upsets. Frieza's been doing really good so far, having pretty good Creed run. I think 9th. Aura should be fine. I know Russell's solid, but yeah, I don't really predict too many upsets here. OG Kid, Graves, yeah. I'll kind of speed it up just because a lot of this I feel like. Well, this next one could be tough. Lop is a pretty solid Ice Climbers versus Bonfire 10. A really solid top 100 Chic from New England. Fiction should be fine, but this I could see going a Lop's favor. Some Cheeks have been switching to Zelda. I know like Zanya has done that, J-Mook has done that, Dreffin has done that. I haven't seen Bonfire 10 do that. So I'm curious to see how that'll go. I feel like Bonfire is still going to be fine, but you never know. Commaster had a pretty solid run at Big Dog. Zane should be fine. I don't know. I think it's like sometimes you have maybe mid-tier bias. I feel like I could see Commaster also has a Falcon. So Web Wipe, I think it's a Peach. I don't remember entirely, but I don't know. I feel like Commaster might be fine there. And then we have I think Wagabooga and Hagabooga were brothers. I think one was like Doc, one was like Ganon or something like that. Axe and Salami should be fine, but you never know. And then we have Dawson. Stiv is, Fox. I'm going a little bit of Yoshi too. Forox, pretty good Doc. I feel like Stiv should be fine there. Dawson, not done amazingly, but I feel like should be fine. And then None. We have Vish versus Elliot, aka the Weapon. Floating Mess Maya, another pretty good Yoshi. I could see Maya making it through here. This is not Zasa, the NC Puff. This is Zaza. So, I don't know. I feel like Maya could be fine. I feel like Elliot's going to do good here. But in terms of top 64, we have 2 different waves. We have G, then H. I feel like Wizard's going to do fine here. Sunsei is okay against Falcon. I feel like Axe might be Sunsei though. Moki has a Falcon bracket, and I think will do perfectly fine. I think Moki will do really well here. If it's Lop, Fiction did lose to Frostbite going Peach, but I think Frostbite is better than Lop, so I don't know. Yeah, I mean, Daydream I think has a good bracket here. If I recall correctly, Daydream is a Puff. So if you have either Chic or Ices into Peach, that's a pretty good Puff bracket. Which Daydream seeded to get that point anyway. But I mean, if Innistrog is Falcon, like I recall, Falcon can do all right. Ices is not like an auto loss against Puff. I feel like people are getting better at that matchup, just like understanding where to fight and where to not fight. Bonfire has a lot of Marth experience against Calvar. I feel like that should be fine. I wouldn't be surprised if Iron beats Elliot, but I feel like Elliot's probably got that. Yeah. So not a ton of upsets, I don't think. I feel like OG Kid might be Graves. A lot of Sheiks around here, so a little bit of a rough draw for Zio. Zio's kind of inconsistent, so I don't know. HBox Mono, I think would be interesting, but HBox should have that. I remember Daniel from my region, or lived in my region at the time, and I was like, oh shoot, like HBox had lost to Ops all those times. HBox beats other Yoshis pretty good. I think Stiv will beat Dawson. I think like that's a pretty close set either way. Frieza's a little bit of a rough draw. I feel like Aura is pretty good against Foxes, against like Zoe, Stiv, a lot of Foxes up there. In terms of these sets, Zane's gonna beat whoever wins this. Spark has done okay this year. Not the best Pat's House, but a good Genesis. I feel like J-Mook has dropped some sets in the Ditto more recently. He used to be untouchable. I think more recently, but I feel like J-Mook's got it. H-Box should beat whoever wins this. Josh Man, or has beaten Josh Man before, but I feel like recently it's been Josh Man favored. And then in losers, yeah. Master could be switched around. What was it, F1? Zane Master would be an interesting set. If that's where it is, it'd be Master and then potentially Graves, depending on OG Kid or whatever. And then OG Kid would have Graves' bracket of... OG Kid would make it automatically there. So, yeah, I don't know. There's a lot of toss-ups here. Top 24. Wizrobe should make it. I feel like Moki will do fine. Zane kind of bodied J-Mook last few times they played. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about Josh Man H-Box. I mean, H-Box had that Chape lost. Chape. So, I don't know. I feel like H-Box would probably win that, but Josh Man definitely could. For this, assuming that Daydream and Aura match up here, this could be tough for Aura. I had mentioned that Aura doesn't have a ton of experience against Puffs. In bracket, hadn't played H-Box or SDJ. I'm pretty sure played H-Box. But yeah, so bit of a Puff draw here, which I do think Dawson may not be here. Either way, I think Aura has a bit of a tough bracket with Josh Man. Could be Josh Man, definitely could. But like, yeah, I think that Moki's so good against Falcon. They did trade sets at a full house, but I feel like Moki's got it. I don't know how I feel about Graves. If Graves is switched around, I don't know. I'm not super high on Graves right now. Has done okay at some of the Northwest events and all that, but I don't know. If Axe is in place of Sunsei, Axe Spark did happen at Genesis, and Spark did win. So Axe does have a bit of a tough route to top 8 either way. I think it's definitely doable though. Fiction over none. Yeah. I don't think there's going to be a ton of upsets here. There's not a ton. Like, there's a lot of solid top 100 level players, but like, there's not a ton of like top 50, top 25. In terms of like these, and I think it'll still be cool. Like, Spark lost to Noir, right? If this is a matchup, having Spark versus another Falco, we'll see how that goes. And then Graves right after. So, not the easiest bracket for Spark. Probably will want to beat J-Mook. I mean, obviously want to, but definitely would benefit a ton from beating J-Mook in the Ditto. For top 8, while it would be cool to see Josh Man finally get that Zane win, I don't think it's going to happen because I don't think it's going to get there. I think that Moki will be Wizrobe. Moki's been great against Falcon. I don't think that's going to stop. I feel like Zane will probably be J-Mook. I feel like J-Mook will get back on Josh Man, but I think that Wizrobe J-Mook. I feel like Wizrobe will take it. If it's Salt H-Box, H-Box will probably get third. I'm predicting Zane first, Moki second, H-Box third. See how I do. But a lot of other cool stuff. Top 8, or some other events. Salt is also entered in Rivals and is a top 8 seed, supposed to get 5th. I believe this is probably the 6th seed, right? Which this is not the craziest bracket, but we could see Salt in multiple top 8s. Kind of filling that out. B-Bats isn't going. I guess B-Bats won something more recently as well, but yeah. I think Gama will probably be the more like stacked Canadian tournament. This is still good. But definitely will give you some high level sets. Probably not going to be the most upset heavy bracket ever, but will still be fun. You'll have to balance your schedule based on watching Friday, but should be good. I think it'll be fun.